Here's the cool question which is frequently used in a test. You're presented with three expressions. Circle with the dot inside plus another circle equals 48. In the second expression, you add square plus circle and the result equaled 40. And in the third expression, you divide square by the diamond and the result is equal to. So you need to calculate the diamond. You're presented with four different choices. Choice A, 6. Choice B, 12. Choice C, 18. And choice D, 24. Can you do the math? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. Maybe 20 to 30 seconds, depending how quickly you are with the math. Ready or not, I'm moving forward and going to reveal you how to do the calculation and solve this particular problem. If you think about it, the symbols that are presented for this problem are no different to x, y, and z that we're so used to in math. So let's look at the first expression from that standpoint. You see that the value of circle can easily be calculated. We do it by dividing 48 by 3, and the result is equal 16. So circle with the dot inside equals 16. In the next step, we need to calculate the square. Square equals 40 minus the circle, which equals 40 minus 16, and the result equals 24. And in the last step, we need to calculate the diamond. Diamond equals square divided by 2, which equals 24 divided by 2, and the result equals 12. So the correct answer is choice B, 12. Hopefully you've nailed this question on your own and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here is an excellent question, variations of which we very frequently see on the test. The pet store sells baby parrots and kittens. Inventory recorded 15 heads and 36 legs for all animals in the store. How many parrots and kittens are there in the store? And you have four different choices. Choice A, 2 kittens and 13 parrots. Choice B, 3 kittens and 12 parrots. Choice C, 4 kittens and 11 parrots. And choice D, 5 kittens and 10 parrots. Do you see the answer? Can you do the calculations and come up with the correct solution? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20 to 30 seconds by pausing this video and trying to do mental math and come up with the answer. Ready or not, let's go ahead and work on the solution together. You start to solve these types of challenges by looking at the facts. And we have two facts here. We have 15 total heads of animals in the store. And we also have 36 legs. We also know that each parrot has 2 legs and 1 head. And each kitten has 4 legs and 1 head. In fact, both animals have 1 head. And unless it's a fairy tale, I don't know any animal that have more than 1 head. So number of heads can be used to calculate total number of animals in the store. Because there are 15 heads, there are 15 animals in the store. Based on this information, we can create a formula. Number of parrots in the store plus number of kittens in the store equals 15. So based on this, we can calculate number of parrots. Number of parrots equals 15 minus number of kittens. We can do similar expression based on the number of legs. 2 multiplied by number of parrots plus 4 multiplied by the number of kittens equals 36. Now let's replace parrots in this expression with 15 minus kittens. So 15 minus kittens multiplied by 2 plus 4 multiplied by the number of kittens equals 36. Which means 30 minus 2 kittens plus 4 kittens equals 36. After simplification, 2 kittens equals 36 minus 30, which means that there are 3 kittens in the store. Number of parrots then will be calculated by subtracting 3 from 15, and number of parrots equals 12. So the correct answer here is choice B, 3 kittens and 12 parrots. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here is an interesting question which tests your understanding of percentage differences. You are presented with two projects, Project 1 and Project 2, and you need to calculate the difference between completion time for those two projects. It takes 8 hours to complete Project 1, and it takes 12 hours to complete Project 2. So, how much longer it takes to complete Project 2? You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 4%, Choice B, 50%, Choice C, 100%, and then Choice D, 150%. Do you see the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds to see if you can do mental math and calculate the percentage differences. The answer might be a little trickier than you think. Are you ready? Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. To get to the correct answer, we first need to understand the difference in hours between the two projects. The difference is 4 hours, and it is calculated by subtracting 8 from 12. 12 minus 8 equals 4, and that is the difference between Project 1 and Project 2 hours. In the second step, we need to divide the difference by the number of original hours, and the original hours would be Project 1 hours. 4 divided by 8 is 0.5, and then we need to multiply 0.5 by 100%. So the correct answer here is choice B, 50% increase. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. And now here's the question for you to practice. You're presented with the pie chart of United States energy consumption. Consumption consists of 5 different parts: natural gas, coal, nuclear, renewables, as well as petroleum. The ratio between natural gas, petroleum, coal, nuclear power, and renewables is 8 to 6 to 4 to 3 and to 3. The total consumption for energy is $3 billion. So how much in United States dollars was consumed in form of petroleum? You're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, $510 million. Choice B, $610 million. Choice C, $750 million. And choice D, $600 million. Can you calculate the answer? Give yourself 20 to 30 seconds and post your calculated answer in the comment section of this video so I can give you my feedback. Thanks for participating and good luck! Here's the cool question that you frequently get on the test. Kate has $33, which is only 20% of the cost of shoes that she would like to purchase. How much do the shoes cost? And you're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, $66. Choice B, $99. Choice C, $150. And choice D, $165. Can you calculate the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20 to 30 seconds, depending how well you are with math and percentages. Ready or not, let's go ahead and get to the correct solution together. The answer to this problem is very simple. $33 is 20% or 1/5 of the shoe's price. So the total cost of the shoes would be 33 multiplied by 5, which would be equal $165. So the correct answer here is choice D, $165. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's the cool simple question, which is frequently used to test mental math capabilities. There is an unknown number you need to determine. 1 was added to this number, then 2 was subtracted from the result, and then it was multiplied by 3 and then divided by 4. The result is 6. What is the unknown number? You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 6. Choice B, 8. Choice C, 9. Choice D, 12. Can you determine the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20 to 30 seconds if you need more time. Ready or not, I am going to continue, reveal the correct answer as well as solution on how to solve these types of challenges. The best way to solve these types of challenges is to reverse the calculation by solving the problem backwards. So what we can do, we can multiply 6 by 4, then divide by 3, add 2 and subtract 1. And the result of these calculations is 9. Let's check to make sure it's correct, which is another good idea to do on the test. Let's put in parentheses 9 plus 1 minus 2, close parentheses, then multiply the result by 3, divide by 4, and the result will be equal to 6. So the correct choice here is choice C, 9. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's a very interesting problem, which tests not just your math skills, but also your cognitive ability skills. First and second bookshelves together have 80 books. First and third bookshelves together have 60 books. Second and third bookshelves together have 40 books. How many books are in there on each shelf? You have 4 different choices. For the first, second, and third bookshelves, in the choice A, you have 40, 40, and 20. In choice B, 50, 30, and 10. In choice C, 30, 50, and 10. And in the choice D, 55, 25, and 15. Do you see the answer? Can you calculate it? Can you? Or maybe you cannot. Maybe you can use some other tricks to solve this challenge. Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20 to 30 seconds by pausing this video to see if you can come up with the answer on your own. Ready or not, I am going to move forward so we can solve this challenge and get to the correct solution together. What's interesting about this problem is that there is no easy formula you can come up with. Maybe you're different, at least this is how it was in my case. So if you can come up with the formula, please make sure to post it in the comment section of this video. But what I did, I started looking at the facts. And the facts is that on the first and second bookshelves, we have 80 books. On the first and third bookshelf, we have 60. On the second and third, we have 40. And what's interesting about this fact is that each bookshelf is presented here twice. First is twice, second is twice, and then the third bookshelf also appears in these calculations twice. So what we can do here, we can calculate doubled number of books on all 3 bookshelves. We can do it by adding up 80 plus 60 plus 40, and the result will be equal to 180. Because 180 is the double number of books, we can calculate just the total of books on all 3 shelves. We can do it by dividing 180 by 2, and the result is 90. And now we can calculate the number of books on each and every shelf. So having this information handy and looking at the facts, we can calculate the number of books on each individual shelf. For example, the number of books on the first shelf can be calculated by subtracting 40 from 90, and the result will be 50. The number of books on the second shelf can be calculated by subtracting 60 from 90, and the result will be 30. And the number of books on the third shelf can be calculated by subtracting 80 from 90, and the result will be 10. So the correct answer here is choice B. There are 50 books on the first shelf, 30 books on the second shelf, and 10 books on the third shelf. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to solve similar challenges on the test. And now it's your turn. I would like you to practice and try to answer this question on your own. Please analyze the question and post your answer as well as your rationale of how you did the calculations in the comment section of this video. You're presented with 2 squares. Smaller square is inside the larger square. Both squares have numbers in the corners. The larger square has numbers 15, 11, 32, and 23. The smaller square has numbers 22, 13, 5, and one number is missing. And this is the number you need to calculate. You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 1, choice B, 7, choice C, 12, and choice D, 17. Do you see the pattern? Can you calculate the correct number? Please post your answer in the comment section of this video so I can give you my feedback. Thank you for participating and good luck! Here's the cool question that you frequently get on a test. You're presented with 4 different letters, and you need to guess the word using all letters presented. The letters we have are W, O, B, and L. Can you guess the word? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds to see if you can come up with the answer. Ready or not, let's go ahead and reveal the solution. The correct answer here is ball, which is spelled as B-O-W-N-L. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's the cool problem, which is easy to understand, but might be a little tricky to solve. The box has 15 marbles of green, yellow, and orange colors. There are 7 times more of green marbles than yellow. How many orange marbles does the box have? You have 4 different choices. Choice A, 5, choice B, 7, choice C, 8, and choice D, 9. Can you calculate the answer? Or guess it? Or find out? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds to see if you can come up with the solution. Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. Interesting problem, don't you think? To solve this type of problems, let's separate facts from the formulas. We have 2 facts. We have 15 total marbles, and marbles are of 3 different colors: green, yellow, and orange. And the formula that we are presented with is that there are 7 times more of yellow marbles than the green marbles. How does it help us? With this type of information, we can easily build the calculations, and we will base our calculation based off of yellow marbles. The calculations will be yellow marbles plus 7 multiplied by yellow marble plus orange marbles equals 15. Because 15 is a relatively small number, we can start guessing how many yellow marbles are in there. Our ability to solve this challenge is based off of the fact that there is a very small number of total marbles. If we can optimize this formula and simplify it, we can come up with the formula that 8 yellow marbles plus however many orange marbles equals 15. So the question is, how many yellow marbles can there be in total? Can there be 2 yellow marbles? No, because if we will multiply 8 by 2, we will get to the total of 16 marbles, which is greater than the 15, which is the current total number of marbles. Based on this information, the box cannot have more than 1 yellow marble. And if there is only 1 yellow marble, there is going to be 7 green marbles, because we already have a formula that number of green marbles is calculated by multiplying 7 to the number of yellow marbles. So the only thing that's left is calculating how many orange marbles are out there. And we can easily calculate it by using the formula 8 plus x equals 15. So the x is calculated by subtracting 8 from 15. The x equals 7. The correct answer here then is choice B, 7. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's one of my favorite questions because it's easy to understand but might be challenging to solve. You need to calculate question mark and you're presented with the expression. You need to calculate question mark, and on the other side of the expression you have 16 divided by 4 and multiplied on the value in parentheses 3 minus 1. You have 4 different choices to choose from. Choice A, 8. Choice B, 2. Choice C, 4. And choice D, 1. Do you think you can calculate the answer? Think again. Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. Maybe 20 to 30 seconds. You can pause this video to see if you can come up with the correct solution. Ready or not? Let's go ahead and continue so we can solve this challenge and get to the correct solution together. As we all learned in school, the correct order of operations in math is parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. You can even use the acronym PEMDAS, which reflects first letter from all of these operations. Based on this information, the first step in the calculation would be subtracting 1 from 3, because these are the values in parentheses, and the result of this calculation is 2. The question is, what are we going to do next? We have a choices of dividing 16 by 4 or multiplying 4 by 2, and the correct answer here is that we need to divide 16 by 4 as a second step. What PEMDAS doesn't mention is that multiplication and division have equal priority and calculated from left to right. And this is exactly the case for our expression. 16 divided by 4 is on the left side of the expression, and 4 multiplied by 2 is on the right side. So the first thing we need to do is divide 16 by 4. The result of this calculation is 4. And in the last step, we need to multiply 4 by 2. And the result is 8. So the correct choice here is choice A, 8. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. A lot of times, you might be presented with the pie chart questions on the test. This is an example of this type of question. You need to calculate petroleum consumption. The ratio between natural gas, petroleum, coal, nuclear power, and renewables consumption is 8 to 6 to 4 to 3 to 3. The total consumption of energy is $3 billion. So, how much in US dollars was consumed in form of petroleum? You're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, 510 million. Choice B, 610 million. Choice C, 750 million. And choice D, $600 million. Do you see the answer? Do you know how to calculate these types of problems? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds, maybe 20 to 30 seconds to see if you can come up with the solution. Ready or not, I am going to go ahead and reveal the solution and the way to solve these types of problems on the test. The best way to solve these types of challenges is to understand the relationship between the consumption ratio and total value of energy consumed in US dollars. If we add up of all the units in the ratio, we will get to the sum of 24, because 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3 and plus 3 equals 24. Our total consumption expense is $3 billion, but answers are presented in million dollars, so we need to convert $3 billion into million dollars, which would be an equivalent of $3,000 million. Petroleum represents 6 units out of 24, so the total consumption of petroleum can be calculated as 6 divided by 24 multiplied by 3,000, and we will get our answer as 0.25 multiplied by 3,000, which will equal $750 million. So the correct choice here is choice C, $750 million. Did you come up with the same answer? If you know the better way to solve this challenge, please make sure to post it in the comment section of this video. Here's an excellent problem that you frequently see on the test. Anna is 4 years older than her brother. 2 years ago, her brother's age was 3/4 of Anna's age. How old her brother will be in 5 years? And you're presented with 4 different choices: age 23, choice B 21, choice C 19, and choice D 18. Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. You can either get yourself a piece of paper or do mental calculations. The problem is simple enough so you can get to the correct answer. Do you see the solution? Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. The coolest thing about this problem is that it seems simple, but in reality, it deals with 3 moments in time. It deals with today moment, it deals with the moment of 2 years ago, and it deals in the brother's age in 5 years moment. As soon as we know either Anna's or her brother's age at any moment of time, we should be able to calculate brother's age in 5 years. So let's go ahead and do the calculations. In this problem, we are dealing with one fact. Anna is 4 years older than her brother, and this fact never changes. So we can build formula Anna's age equals her brother's age plus 4. We are also dealing with age-specific difference at the moment of time. For example, we've learned that Anna's brother's age was 3/4 of Anna's age 2 years ago. So let's do calculations for 2 years ago. Brother's age equals 3/4 of Anna's age. Now let's use factual information about brother's age. Brother's age equals Anna's age minus 4. And now we can create an equation based on Anna's age in the moment of time 2 years ago. Anna's age minus 4, based on the fact, equals 3/4 of Anna's age, which means that Anna's age minus 3/4 of Anna's age equals 4, 1/4 of Anna's age equals 4, and Anna's age equals 16. So 2 years ago, Anna was 16 years old, and her brother was 3/4 of 16, 12 years old. Now Anna's brother is 2 years older, which can be calculated as 12 plus 2 and equals 14 years old, which means that in 5 years, Anna's brother will be 14 plus 5, 19 years old. So the correct answer here is choice C, 19 years old. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's one of the frequently used questions to test your understanding of the percentages. Candidate is taking a test, so imagine yourself, with 60 multiple choice questions and answered 60% of the first 20 questions correctly so far. So, what percent of the remaining questions does candidate need to answer correctly to get 70% rate on the test? You're presented with 4 different choices. Choice A, 60%, choice B, 65%, choice C, 70%, and choice D, 75%. Do you see the answer? Take a close look and possibly get yourself a piece of paper or use Microsoft Excel to do the calculations. Or maybe you can do all the calculations in your head. That would be amazing. Give yourself 15 to 20 seconds. This particular question might require a lot of steps, so give yourself some time and try to solve it. Ready or not, I am going to move forward and reveal the correct answer as well as the solution. As I already mentioned, this is a multi-tiered question, and it requires you to do multiple calculations to get to the correct answer. So the first calculation we would need to do is how many questions have already been answered correctly by the candidate. And the answer is calculated by multiplying 20 questions by 60%. So the answer is 12 questions have already been answered correctly so far by the candidate. In the next phase, we need to determine how many remaining questions need to be answered correctly to pass the test at 70% rate. So if there are 60 questions total on the test and we need to pass it at 70% rate, we will get to 42 questions that need to be answered correctly to get a passing rate of 70%. In the next phase, we need to calculate how many remaining questions remain on the test. To do this, we need to subtract 20 from 60, and it tells us that 40 questions are still remaining. Now, how many questions need to be answered correctly out of remaining questions to still get to 70% passing rate? To calculate this, we need to subtract 12 which is the number of questions we already answered correctly out of first 20 questions answered, from 42, and 42 minus 12 equals 30, which means that out of remaining 40 questions, 30 questions need to be answered correctly to get to the 70% passing rate. So the last calculation we need to do is to calculate what is the percentage of remaining questions we need to answer correctly. To do this, we need to divide 30 by 40 and multiply it by 100%, which is an equivalent of 0.75 multiplied by 100%. And the correct answer is choice D, 75%. Do you know the better way to solve this challenge? Please share your thoughts in the comment section of this video. And I hope that you nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems on the test. Here's the cool question, variations of which we frequently see on the test. Young couple drove 1,200 miles in 3 days during their honeymoon. They drove 3 times more on the first day than on the last day, and the same mileage on the second day as on the first and third days combined. How many miles did they drive each day? You have 4 different choices. For the first, second, and third day, you have choices of A, 600, 400, and 200. Choice B, 550, 450, and 250. For choice C, you have 450, 600, and 150. And for choice D, you have 450, 700, and 150. Can you calculate the answer? Give yourself 10 to 15 seconds. You can use a piece of paper or you can do mental math. Now let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution together. 1,200 miles together with your loving partner, what could be the better time to spend? Anyway, let's first look at the facts. There are 2 facts that I'd like to point out. Fact number 1 in this problem is that on the third day, they drove 1/3 of the first day miles. They probably got tired, right? And the second fact is on the second day, they drove first day miles plus third day miles combined. So what's interesting here, can we base our calculations based off of the last day mileage? And what I mean by that is that can we use the third day miles as x in the expression we're trying to build? Based on this information, on the first day, they drove 3x miles. On the second day, they drove 3x plus x miles. In total, they drove 1,200 miles. So now we can build an expression 3x in parentheses 3x plus x, and then plus additional x equals 1,200 miles. Let's do the calculation for x, which also represents the third day. X equals 1,200 divided by 8, which is 150 miles. And this is how many miles they drove on the third day. On the first day then, they drove 3 multiplied by 150, which is an equivalent of 450 miles. And on the second day, they drove 450 plus 150 equals 600 miles. So the correct choice here is choice C. On the first day, 450 miles, second day, 600 miles, and on the third day, 150 miles. The cool thing is that you didn't just get ready for the test, but in case you have honeymoon coming up and are interested in 3-day driving trip and have couple good locations in mind, you know how you would calculate the miles for your planned trip. It is guaranteed that you will get questions like this almost on any test. You're presented with different shapes, and you need to identify the missing shape in the sequence. You're presented with 4 different choices. Choices A, B, C, and D. Obviously, you need to look and identify the pattern. Do you see the pattern? Let's continue to see how we can get to the correct solution and solve this challenge together. Let me first explain you the different shapes we see on the picture. Let's start with the inside diamond. You see that inside small diamond changes the colors. We have 2 black inside diamonds, then 2 white inside diamonds, and then inside diamond in the shape 5 is also black. Do you see the pattern? Now, there's also a pattern of outside triangles. You see that outside triangles in the shapes 1 and 2 are black, in the shapes 3 and 4 are white, and in the shape 5 are black. Does it ring a bell? Doesn't give you a pattern? And then the third pattern are the sides of the larger diamond. If you look closely, you see that the sides of the larger diamonds in the first shape are black, then we have 2 white shapes, and then 2 blacks again. Let's recap. Shape 2 is the first shape in the pattern. Shape 3 is the second shape in the pattern. Shape 4 is the third shape in the pattern. And then shape 5 is the fourth and last step in the pattern. If you look closely at the shape 1 in the picture, you see that this represents the last shape in the pattern. So the correct choice here for shape 6 would be to select the first shape in the pattern, which is the matching answer for the choice B. So the correct answer here is choice B. Hopefully you've nailed this question and now know how to answer similar problems in the test. Thanks for watching. If you liked the content, please give us a like and consider subscribing. Thank you for your endorsement, support and patronage. Please also check out additional resources in the description section of this video. I also encourage you to check resources page on our website, howtoanalyzedata.net. Please leave your feedback, corrections or suggestions in the comment section of this video. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.